G'day guys, it's Mark here from North Oz, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the step-by-step procedure that I follow every single time I get a new vehicle or a new vehicle to me. So that can be like my second-hand vehicles that I've had, like my Patrol builds in the past, my Subaru build, all those vehicles that I've had that was second-hand, and also my new vehicle that I got here, 79 Series Land Cruiser. I have followed this exact procedure for my Prado, my Hilux, and it's been refined every single time. So I've made previous videos about protecting your vehicles, but today, this is like the culmination of my testing and also having a look at all the different products that I've used in the past to try to protect your vehicles and not spend a lot of money or time doing it. This is a very quick job to do if you've got all the bits and pieces, which isn't hard and there's not a lot to do. I'm not very mechanically minded. I just know what works. So I'm going to share all that today with you. So let's get stuck into it. The biggest issue with older vehicles, especially four-wheel drives, is underbody rust. Signs of rust and corrosion on the frame and the deterioration of components that sit under the vehicle are the first things I look for when making a second-hand vehicle purchase. But what a lot of people don't know is that this is really easily avoidable, especially if you can get on top of your vehicle's maintenance and prevention early on in the vehicle's life. I plan on keeping my 79 for a long time, but I also plan on driving it around Australia on beaches, through water, on corrugations, and much more, just like I have with my previous vehicles. But to do this, I need to have confidence that my truck won't fall apart after doing this for just a few years. Under my vehicles, I've always used lanolin-based products. I began using Inox MX3 and Inox MX4 under my last two builds, but I found that they attracted too much dust and dirt, and it wasn't really a long-term solution. Now I'm using Lanatex Steel Seal as it provides a firmer and thicker seal than the other aerosol products I've used in the past, like the Inox MX3 and 4. This 5-litre bottle of Steel Seal that I have today was $150, and I bought a pressurized water bottle for $60 as I didn't have one, and it only took about a litre to cover the entire underbody. So excluding the spray bottle, as I'll be using this again in the future, this whole job only cost around $30. When using this product or one like this, be careful around the engine and avoid spraying the belts and engine components. But besides that, I used it everywhere and on everything. I experimented spraying the wheels with the Steel Seal, and I tried having a look and seeing how it reacted with the wheels and the nuts, but this really wasn't a good idea as it dries yellow and it's not easily taken off the wheels. It's really designed to set on the underbody. Instead, I recommend using the Inox MX3 or MX4 aerosol around the lug nuts, hubs, and wheels, as the wheels are steel on this vehicle, but I would recommend using it on alloy wheels anyway. Just check your lug nuts as they may loosen with the lanolin in there, a small price to pay for protection. Be careful not to spray the brake assembly with any of these products. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, why would I need to do this on a new car? Well, new vehicles are delivered already with rust forming on components. This vehicle, like many Toyotas, already had rust forming on the welds of the chassis, but my 79 also had rust forming in other components and on other components such as the hubs, suspension assembly, especially at the bottom where it had a lot of rust, where the shock absorber is, and around and on the differentials and on the drive shaft. So it actually had quite a lot of rust on there. Although this rust is not critical at this stage, 5 to 10 years from now where continually driving through water, dirt, mud, salty water, sand, it'll eventually begin to affect the integrity of the steel. I will be monitoring, however, how well this Steel Seal holds up, because this is the first time I've used it long term, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes and to see how it holds up over the coming months and years. I'll let you know how it goes, so make sure that you have subscribed and have hit that bell icon, because you won't want to miss all these updates that I have coming as well and coming on the build. So let's move on to the paint protection now. An added bonus of doing the kind of work that we're discussing in this video is you get a really good baseline on the condition of your vehicle. So when you repeat this process or are working on the vehicle yourself, you can check up on the state of the vehicle as you're constantly aware of what condition your vehicle is in and at periodic times. So you see where the weaknesses are, see where the components sit in relation to each other. You get a really good sense of clearances and what the vehicle actually looks like and its components. So the first step is pretty simple. Dampen the cloth with whatever ceramic spray you're using. I just grabbed the nearest one that I had at the local shop, and I'm just going to apply it, buff it off, and then move on to the next section. Pretty straightforward. Shouldn't take us any longer than 20 or 30 minutes. And then we should be all done with this, and then we'll move on to the glass. Let's get stuck into it.
So I'm not going to lie to you guys, the older I get, the lazier I become with paint protection. But in this case, laziness has actually resulted in a lot of time and money saving shortcuts. I no longer use my garden hose for washing my cars. The mineral content of the water where I live is far too great and leaves behind the outline of water drops when they evaporate. So my first step is to wash the vehicle at a car wash with demineralized water. As far as I know, my local car wash actually uses regular water, so it's actually no different to my garden hose. But there is a setting for a spotless spray, which is a demineralized water from the outlet from the end of the pressurized gun. I then drive it home and then dry it with a microfiber towel, and then I apply a ceramic coating. The good thing about ceramic is that it does last around 3 months and it can be layered. So if you want a thicker layer, you just keep layering it on after it dries every 24 hours or so until you're happy with it. While it won't provide scrub and chip damage out of a bottle like this, it does provide a nice shine and prevents water, mud, poo, etc. sitting on the paint, which can cause damage over time, and it has on some of my previous vehicles. It's a simple and quick process to follow. I applied the coating on the whole panel and went back to the first half of the panel to buff it off, and I just repeated that for the whole vehicle. The results are incredible, and I used only about a fifth of the bottle, actually less than that, which equated to around $7 for 3 months protection, which is pretty hard to beat. So the final step for all this is just the glass treatment. So I use Rain-X, which is just a simple wipe on, buff off application. I find it is too greasy to wipe off with just a normal dry microfiber towel. So I always use a bit of water just by wetting the end of the towel just to remove the leftover grease. I've used this exact bottle for years now, and the treatment lasts around 6 months up here in the tropics. It allows the water to bead, and the wipers can remove that beaded water a lot more efficiently than without the Rain-X. And let's just face it, guys, dirty glass is a safety issue, and this makes the removal of dirt, poo, bugs much easier as well, even when it's not raining.
Well, guys, that concludes today's video. As you can tell, there is a little bit of work to be done, as the sweat shows, but it is well worthwhile. I mean, it's not a huge amount of time and effort or money to be able to do all the things that we talked about here today. So I hope you guys go out, give these a crack. Let me know what you think. If you have some alternative products that you use, or you have your own ideas, let me know down in the comment section. But also let me know down in the comments what you would like to see happen next on the 79 Series Land Cruiser. We do have a huge install video and a couple install videos coming up. So let me know what you guys would like to see for this build. But the whole idea is that we're not going crazy with this thing. It's just going to be putting in the essentials that's going to help you get out and tour and do a little bit of full driving and do that in comfort. So that's the idea of this build, is building a really good tourer that's not going to cost you too much money past what you've already spent on the vehicle. So let me know down in the comment section what you would like to see from this build. But we do have a couple of build episodes coming up anyway, so I'm sure you guys will appreciate that. So make sure you subscribe and stick around for that. So with all that said and done, the car turned out really good. The paint turned out even better than I thought. So I'll show you, I'll leave you guys with just a few of the images and videos and a few clips of how the paint and also how the underbody and all the windows and that turned out, all the glass turned out. Thank you for joining me today, guys. If this video helped you out, make sure you like it, make sure you have subscribed, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video. See you then.